So I'm going to take that as a 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody. Raven and I are here, and he's going to play CrazyStone for us at the 1Q level. And as he goes, if there's moves I'm not sure how we got to that conclusion, we're going to stop and talk about it. And we're thinking this is kind of a fun, interesting way of looking at things. So we've got a few moves already. He did a 3-3, which I think people have a hard time understanding. And we are here. Okay, Chris.
All righty. C5.
C5, pretty common.
So my style has been sort of summed up by my peers as I like to take territory and then say that I win. So the 3-3 is kind of in line with that. Yeah. It's a corner you can, if they approach it, you can respond, you can't ignore it. If you ignore it and they approach it again, you can respond or you can ignore it. I like the flexibility of the move. It's just finished. So here, every time I see these pincers, which they're completely normal, I know that the modern method is to press, but I'm actually not super comfortable with pressing and getting cut here. I don't really want to switch towards the bottom. So I'm just going to do the normal thing and jump E5, the old style.
E5. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much as expected. And from now, I'm going to enclose the top right at Q15.
Q15. Okay. So I'm just going to practice here. I'm going to take control and talk about the A group. Black just did a pressing move on you and you ignored. Okay. As many, I'm never sure when I can ignore, when I can't ignore, when is it becoming uncomfortable. If I'm wrong, I get pressed so hard, I'm uncomfortable. So if I could just pretend to move here, for instance, if black plays this way, you're probably going to jump?
Jumping is definitely an option. I would also consider to play Hane.
And again, you're like, I don't care if you cut me. Yeah. Tell me what you would do here.
I would attach at C3. This is kind of like a pattern I know for the corner. Just aim to sabaki the group and live on the left.
Okay. So to me, this is very insightful because I get my mind set. Okay. Here I go. I'm getting out. Oh, I'll just play away. Oh, I better get out. Oh, I'll just go into the corner. It's like, I would stay here, right? Oh, I need to fix this in some way. I need to make a decision now. And you're like, no, just play it lightly. If he says to try somewhere, you can do whatever you want. So stay flexible. Good. Okay.
It's also, I think, maybe worth noting, a lot of that decision-making process in the background in my brain is a lot to do with the fact that he pincered wide and not tight. If black's pincer stone is closer and white doesn't have access to a base at C7, then I think it's more prudent for white to respond and not to Nuki when it comes to F4.
The tighter it is, the more we start responding. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we are here. Black does play this way.
Okay, I will Hane.
I'm on the wrong button. Just a second. Still on the wrong button. Doing it yet again. Okay. Want the Hane?
Yes, sir. Now the counter Hane is the interesting choice for me. I'm going to double Hane here.
Okay. Wonderfully flexible move. Thank goodness the one stone is far away, or else we would be choking.
Yeah.
Okay. So
a little bit of other background information. I chose the upper right corner specifically because of this. Not the double honey, but because I'm planning to leave the bottom left corner. Q15 tends to be a very thickness-oriented move when it's played in the opening. And a lot of times when you leave the A group and black attacks it, black ends up giving white some type of position on the outside when black allows this double honey. So the Q15 move with the influence white gets from the bottom left in some cases is also quite useful. I like to have a balance of thickness and territory.
Okay, so you're saying the A and the thickness of B is going to work well together.
Yes.
And the whole C part of the equation can handle itself in any fashion, whether that's sacrifice or life or co or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, very nice.
In the future, I'll be thinking about how to press down the 1 stone and maybe press down the E17 stone at the corner. Those are some common ideas to follow up with this type of flow. So he does go for the cut. Okay, connect. See Atari, fix Atari, right? Cut at D6.
D6, I got it right.
Yeah. And then extend to D7.
D7.
So here my feeling is that black's a bit concentrated. White gave up the E5 stone, but black has a sort of meaningless move around F4. So I'm not at all sad about the sacrifice in the corner.
Okay. So A indeed is just, you could take A and flush it down the toilet and you have lost nothing. Black B, we can honey on the top side. It's not going to cut us. So the black stones are not working well, while white's doing good here. Also, if black cuts now, we just let, as soon as I get on the right button. So the cut doesn't work because we can just kill the thing. Now that might change in a moment, but that's good. I'm more familiar with this pattern, and I just want to look at it. I'd probably do this. Is this acceptable or just a little too heavy?
I think it's playable if the plan is going to be something like punishing the C9 stone directly and coming in. Then I think this is the route you want to go.
Okay.
I'm not really committing much to breaking the right side as of yet, or the left side as of yet. I kind of want to see what it's going to do here.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't play this because I don't like all these cuts that I have now. Like, I'm not even, I have 3 cuts and I don't like that. That's why I would go the other way. But you're saying, no, we're just going to play lightly.
Yeah. Like, because even here we could do C8 and fix 2 of the 3 cuts in one move. And the 3 stones on the outside are really hard to attack. The G6 stone for black is quite soft, and F5 is in terrible shape. So
now, one question I have. When you play A, which is going to show up in a moment, let me get clicking on the right button here. When you play A, how far have you read? Now, I specifically mean, do you see the 3 cuts and already have a plan?
Sort of intuitively, yes, because I know the shape. And I also kind of have a plan that's like 5 to 8 moves ahead in my brain if he doesn't cut. Like, if black doesn't respond locally, white can start at D10 or C11, and so I have some patterns in my brain for both of those moves.
So myself, I never, perhaps literally, have a plan of any sort. I'm just like, be here now.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of, you have a picture in your mind of what might be happening and how's it feel. But as far as this, so I've heard from professionals that plans are good. Okay, so you played there, which is this one. Black did come through. I assume we're going to Atari.
Yes, this should not be a good exchange for black, so we can block this at E8. We should let our opponents make bad exchanges for us.
Yeah. And the C8 or something else?
C8 was one method. I'm considering also D9 here. I'm just trying to read a little bit further ahead to see what it's going to transform into. I like D9 because it seems the most consistent with the initial idea of treating C5 lightly. If black extends to C8, it's less impactful than black extending to D9. Yep.
Okay. So you want to go with that way?
Yeah, I think in this case I'll go with D9.
Okay.
Now we see that the thick stone at Q15 and G7 have some semblance of a whole board relationship forming. But it's still awkward for black to approach R3, so I'm not really worried about anything that he plays on the right or the bottom. And the low position of his Shamari at E17 may work against him in the middle game.
Okay, that's more than I can handle. So white plays here. Get on the right button. I assume you're going to fix?
Yes, we'll connect. Oh, jump. So here black could have honeyed, and I probably would recommend it because it takes a liberty and white's in bad shape if you don't. I'm going to extend. It's the principled move. D10 star point.
Really? I would never dream of that. It's not even Sente.
It can be quite painful if black ignores it.
Does the ladder work? Okay, the ladder works for white. I assumed it didn't, but it does. Okay, so the cut is real. Okay. And just for viewers, I had assumed this ladder didn't work, but it does. So white gets a good position or captures the two stones. Okay, good. Black plays here.
Whoa. I was expecting it to push up. Okay, now for sure we take Sente. Let's go with the H6 Atari. Now, this one might be a bit weird for some people because it might look like, well, black doesn't really need to connect this stone. And that's true, black doesn't. But the minute that white plays this and has access to the capture, white can start treating the whole group like thickness rather than influence.
Yeah.
It fixes a lot of white's problems. And now it kind of puts the ball in black's court to come up with the next move, which I like.
Yeah. And for me, when I glance at the capture, I'm like, holy cow, did my dream come true? I mean, this not only is black's group getting awkward, we can do crazy aggressive things. We can really do some, powerful things, and the outside is so thick. Yeah. Okay, so black fixes.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose it's making sense. E12 knight's move.
E. 12. Okay, we have to talk about this. Okay. I do not know if this move is defense, attack, or territory.
Primarily it's defensive, but it's more preemptive than anything. I'm taking away black's ability to counterattack any F16 press I do in the future and just sort of bridging the center.
I'm going to hand you control and show me some of the reasons why that's a good move. Why
let me pass for black really quick. So in the future, I really want to do this, right? But sometimes the issue with playing this way is that black can play a move like this, which necessarily sort of gives up the topside position to white. But the fact that black gets the A stone and my B group doesn't have eyes yet can become problematic in the future. For example, black has a peep. He can do it from here. There's a peep he can do from here. He can even play this one to break the eye space. It's a bit of a shape. And so the B group can become uncomfortable now that he's actually taken away the capture with the connection. So primarily this move is going to stop a lot of the shenanigans around here because my group has already got a hand being let out through the center towards the top. And if black does play away like we showed, where did black go? Where sort of the game move? Like here, if black ignores, let me not destroy the branch. We'll go like, if black ignores me again, then later when I play this, it's much harder for black to get that type of counterattack going.
Yeah.
So just kind of guaranteeing my follow-up and covering up the odds of the F9 point.
Okay.
Or F8 point, the cut.
Okay. I'm going to repeat a little bit of that. I hadn't noticed the weakness of the A group. As soon as I get on the right button here, there we go. There is a peep there, and actually white has no eyes. Not on the left, not in the center. Oh, if I'm looking, oh, look at all those thick white stones out where there's no black at all. Yeah, but the game changes and black can do stuff here. Okay, and there's even a cut, at B. Okay. Therefore, coming out just by itself, some sort of defense is nice. But the fact that we have a follow-up in that direction is like, holy cow. Yeah, I wouldn't have. There's the picture that we just talked about, the plan. I don't have plans like that. Never. Okay. So we're here. Boom. Cut.
Okay, so it is going for the cut now. Cutting can be big. Atari from above at H8. Again, I kind of like sticking black towards the bottom. It looks like he's going to try to make a big bottom side, but when I expand from the 3-3, it's going to make the bottom really small.
I would be concerned about the bottom. Now, I hate showing my weakness here, but let me just show you my weakness. I would first break the ladder and then save the cut.
Yeah.
And now he has 2 weak black stones in the center, and he can't get the bottom at all. Now, discount this for me. Show me why this is a bad idea. And I'm giving you control again.
Okay. If we're going to continue with like some plan of saving the bottom side, can do something like this, for example. I'm really, really uncomfortable with giving black some attacking options around here. The fight itself is not super clear because, again, I'm going to need at least one more move to prove I have eyes. Like, right? Like, because black at any point, if we assume something like this shape is one eye at best. And I still don't have an eye on the left. So I could start a fight, but the fight isn't so clean to me. It's a bit risky after black turns. And it seems like turning gives black a lot of leverage in the center. Whereas I don't want to ruin the game tree too much, but I will just kind of show what I'm thinking by doing 2 pass moves with that. Well, I guess I should let CrazyStone play its move first. But the main idea is that if black does come out around 1, at some point I'm going to get a move around 2 or 3, and it's going to make the bottom small. And if
okay, let me catch up here. Something I've fallen prey to a lot is, and this is exactly right, I break the ladder, I say my thing, and my white group comes under attack later. And I'm like, how'd that happen? Because if he has a weak A group, how is it he's bothering me so much? And this is exactly why. And as you know, I've recently been taking a couple lessons from a pro. You probably know about that as a birthday present for my students. It was very nice of them. And the quote he said that was meaningful to me, which applies here, is play from you, weak group. Now, I don't see that as a weak group, and I should.
Yeah, it can kind of be hard, I think, because we just spent a move at E12 to defend the group, right? So we don't want to believe that it's still weak after we've just spent a move in Gote defending it.
Yeah, like that. And yet there's the cut. As a matter of fact, it's 2 cuts, and I'm just going to mark them. Knight's move at A, a cut at B. And here I am thinking, oh, I'll fight with this group. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
do one thing at a time. Take care of this group. Play from your strength, from your weak group. Okay, very nice. That's helpful to me.
It's like there's direct ways to use of the weakness, right? Like if there's a cut, you can cut it. That's very direct. But these types of groups, I find the weakness doesn't lie in them being attacked directly. The weakness always lies in them being surrounded completely. Those groups can sacrifice or sabaki when the opponent does the low don thing of cutting all the cutting points and trying to attack everything with a big stick. But when they have a little bit more tact and depth to it, and they start surrounding it on a larger scale, these types of groups often become prey to those types of long-term attacks. Yeah, so I'm just
I'm catching the general gist of what you're saying. You tend to put a lot of words together quickly, and it's so many thoughts, gets complex for me. Let me share one of my things here. Let's get rid of White's base. Now we have a center group and a group that has no eyes and running is far weaker than one eye and running. In our actual board position, that's not an eye on the left. Therefore, we have a center group with 0 eyes. That's something to be careful about. Okay. Does that sound reasonable?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go.
Ball black comes out.
Push on top.
Push on top.
So just go to 8. Oh, the Hane. It's going to be aggressive. I should have expected. Let me think about the cut for a minute. Okay. I like cutting here. And then extend to L7. Now this fight I'm a little more comfortable with compared to the one we just looked at. White has a bit more semblance of eye space in the center. We're going to jump at H10. And black doesn't have anywhere near the same leverage he would have had with the turn.
Yeah. We have more stones in the B area. We have more of a running thick A cutting stone rather than one I had a minute ago that was very weak. Yeah, the fight's looking a lot better. Yeah. And for the viewers, there's actually quite a bit of Aji down below because of all these things going on. Okay, good. And what was your choice there for your next move?
H10.
H10.
So now this group in the center is effectively 1 eye and running. Probably close to 2 eyes, but for sure at least 1. Extend up, H11. Now the white group is alive.
Reading out the snapback stuff here. Little uncomfortable. So you come up. The reading I would do here is black, white, black, white, black, white. And I'm like, is that really 2 eyes? So I'm not ready to say 2 eyes. Yes, it looks like a broken number, broken 4, crooked, crooked 6, crooked 4. So I think it'll be fine, but I'm not, this is, I'm seeing weakness here. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're saying come up, right?
Yeah.
He does play here.
Okay, Atari. We'll see what it does. Just connecting, we'll connect.
And now I see the 2 eyes very easily.
Yeah. Oh, he pushed up. Wow. On it. We're the ones who can be aggressive in the center here. We have thicker positions, so we should take his liberties.
I like that. We're the thicker ones here. the ones with better life, we can be aggressive. Well said. That's hard for especially Q players. When to be aggressive, when not to. They tend to simply turn the heat up as high as it'll go and run like the Dickens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just fight, rather than choosing the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I was half expecting it to actually try to cut. Let me double check this. Yeah, I should still be fine. Double Hane.
Okay, that the question arises: when do we Hane? And I'd like the answer whenever we possibly can, because that's the growing aggressive move. You always have to check, can I? There's a cut there. Anytime you Hane, it's a cut. When do you double Hane? Anytime you possibly can. It is so amazingly powerful, but it leaves behind profound weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I mean, it's like I see this move, oh my God, it's so exciting. Okay, double Hane. Now, one tool you have that I don't have and most players don't is you just reach in your bag and start saying, oh, here's some reading. I don't have that in my bag. Most players don't. It's like, what's he reading? Oh, he read this out. Really? It's like, it's so easy for you. For me, not so easy. I have to use intuition and principles and stuff like that.
Okay, so it just extends. I'll connect solid at J13. This is often the strongest way to handle this when black doesn't cut. There's no more power in the turn for black at L13.
Right.
So if he does turn, which would normally look normal, it just loses a tempo in this case. Was the turn CrazyStone's move?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Knight's move M9.
M9. So we start chasing, taking up his eye space, developing the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can stop here. Our A group, no problems whatsoever. His B group, big problems, 0 eyes and having a hard time escaping anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not concerned about the bottom because the C stone is good Aji, lots of open space on the bottom. So really, there's absolutely nothing black can do in this game.
Yeah, black is kind of shut out. The Q15 white stone looks so pretty here.
Yeah, nice and thick. Let's just look at that briefly. Let's say you had played the thin one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big difference. All of a sudden, black can go, I can do a lot over here, and he's helping himself because it's thin. And here it's like, well, yeah, you can play the move, but now white's more in control than black because white's thicker. Yeah, very nice. Okay, well, let's stop there. Chris, Raven, that was great. Really appreciate you giving us your time.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me join you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, George, for backing us up. And we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.